Hello, everybody. It's Brandon Flowers here from The Killers. I'm doing Facebook Live, taking your questions. I might answer them. I might not answer. I don't know yet. I'm figuring this out as we go. So we're going to go with start right now. We're going to do our first question from Michelle Carth. At the beginning of your career, your sound was influenced a lot by bands like The Smiths, New Order, and The Cars. You progressed into more of a Springsteen and Elton John type of sound. Which artist would you use to describe the album's upcoming album? Well, Michelle, you are correct with a lot of these influences. But one thing I learned on our second record, which is called Sam's Town, is that I opened my mouth about too many of the influences that were kind of seeping in to our equation on that record, and it ended up backfiring on me, so I do not divulge these types of things anymore. But I hope that you enjoy the new record, and I think it's good. This is from Kat Manos. Have you ever considered in some capacity letting fans choose a song or two of the set list in every city, like a vote between 2 or 3 songs via, I say via, is it via or via? Via Twitter, etc. We've talked about it. It's been brought up to us. These are the kind of things that managers and people bring up to you. And, it's tough because you got to get everybody on board. And there are 4 distinct personalities in the Killers. But I don't rule it out completely. I could see it happening in the future. So it's there. It's in the brain. This one is from Belinda Jane Vella. That's a cool name, Belinda Jane. Belinda Jane is nice. It feels like every album you have released all have a completely different yet unique sound. What are your inspirations for writing and recording, and what sound can we expect from the new album? I was thinking about this earlier, and I'm an observer, and I like to absorb a lot, and sometimes that's mistaken by people as being rude or uninterested, but really I'm just watching and kind of taking notes in my brain, I think, a lot. And I think I take a lot from things that I read and movies I see and people I pass on the street, and also just my own imagination. And, of course, songs that have influenced me in the past or that are in the brain already. So for this, I don't know, is it asking about the specific record? No, what sound can you expect from the new album? We're trying to, at least I can only speak for myself. I'm trying to inhabit this 35-year-old body and brain and trying to reflect how I feel, I guess, on a record and to you. And that's, I guess, the best answer I can give to that. Malvina. I don't want to mess your name up, Malvina. Malvina Rincon. We've got 4 ladies in a row. We haven't had a man yet. Let's go. But what music were you guys listening to as you were recording this new album? So that sort of goes back to the other question I answered earlier. It just puts you, it puts in a strange way, it puts a target on you, because especially if you're listening to something great, when you tell what that is, then everyone's going to compare it, your record, to what you said you were listening to, and journalists are usually pretty hard on you when you do that. So I just don't do it. Sorry. Matt Ruda, or Ruda. Let's see, what is going to be the style of this new Killers era? Which elements of Nevada will this album focus on, and how? And how did the idea manifest? Okay, this is good. There's a lot. There's 3 questions. Is there 3 questions in there, Matt? So let's go with the first one. What is going to be the style of this new Killers era? Style-wise, we're still, working that out. I'm really excited about the set, the stage design. We're moving in a new direction, and that's got me really excited to share with everybody. Which element of Nevada will this album focus on, and how? And how did the idea manifest? Well, I'm from Nevada, and I've left. It wasn't until we left Nevada that we realized how much we were a part of it and how much it was a part of us. Right now I wear this. I bring this never comes off, just to remind me of where I'm from and who I am, and I think it speaks to the way that I talk and the way that I walk. And the older I get, the more in love I fall with the desert and the geography. But the people are my people, and so a lot of the experiences you hear in songs are from my from personalities that I've come across in my life, whether it's my aunts and uncles and cousins and people in Las Vegas. So it's always there. And even our first single, it kind of sounds like David Bowie, like walking down the strip. That's what it sounds like. So I guess there is always some kind of sizzle from the strip, lurking. Sorry. Brooke S. asks, do you believe your new album will bring imagery of Las Vegas to the minds of its listeners, like the album's songs before it? Yeah, I guess for me there's a holiness about the desert that I've always tried to capture. And sometimes the right pad or keyboard sound does it. Sometimes a guitar can really do it. And we have a song on this record called Have All the Songs Been Written? And it's very sparse. And Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits is on guitar. And he's one of the guys that conjures up the desert to me personally. And you can agree with that or disagree with that. He may not conjure he may conjure the sea up for someone else. But for me, he does his thing on Have All the Songs Been Written, and it's I guess it does exactly what you're asking about. Amanda W. What is everyone's favorite track from the upcoming album and why? Also, thank you for the years of great albums and tours. You guys are the best. Thank you, Amanda. Sometimes we feel like the best, but sometimes we don't. Just telling you the truth. There are nights when I feel like I'm the best, and there are nights when I just feel worthless. Okay, what is everyone's favorite track from the upcoming album, though, and why? We all probably have a different track that is our favorite, but I think the title track, which is called "Wonderful, Wonderful," is it's probably the if we could all choose one song to really represent the record or to cling to for this record, it would probably be Wonderful, Wonderful. It's dark. It's going into some darker territories than we ventured before, and I hear things in it that remind me of things that I grew up loving also that I haven't really been able to touch upon, and that was helpful working. I started it with Mark, our bass player, and he's more of a minor key type of a guy, and he brought that out in me, so thank you, Mark. Karina Hernandez asks, if you had to describe the album in one word, what would it be? Oh, I wish I was ready for this one, Karina.
One emoji battle.
Oh, let's do the next one, second one. Well, we go. She had a second one. Why didn't you include Run for Cover in Day and Age and wait to include it on this album and not Battleborn? Okay. So there's a good answer for that one. So Run for Cover was written about 9 years ago for Day and Age, but it wasn't completely written. The second verse was not finished, and I love the first verse. I love this first verse like I've never loved a verse, and so it was really difficult because I couldn't match it, and I finally had a breakthrough. I actually got some help from Alex Cameron, who's a great artist coming out of Australia, and he came to Vegas, and we just beat ourselves up over this verse until we got it, and now I'm really excited about the song again. Jenny Beverly asks, will there be any collaborations on the album? So I just answered that. There is a little bit of collaborating. So we've got Mark Knopfler on one song, which is it's such an honor. There is a little bit of definitely some help from Alex Cameron. He's so smart, and he's so on top of it, and we share a lot of the same influences, and it's nice to meet people like that. There is a song called Some Kind of Love that started with a Brian Eno instrumental, and I'll tell a story about this. When we first started, we made our first record, and then for our second record, we were kicking around ideas for who would produce this record, and it was Brian Eno came up, and Rick Ocasek came up, and Flood and Alan Mulder came up, and there were all kinds of people. Anyway, we were told that Rico Kasich and Eno said no, and we were sort of guided towards Flood and Mulder, which completely worked out, and we love them, and we're proud of Sam's Town. But we were told that these other guys said no, and over the years I've come to discover that these guys weren't asked. And the only reoccurring dream I've had in my life is I'm on one side of the street, and Brian Eno is on the other side of the street, and I can't cross the street. And it sort of haunts me, and I've always just thought I'm not good enough for Brian Eno. So thank you, Island, whoever it was. Anyway, so it happened again, sort of. So I wrote this song over one of his instrumentals, and we asked him if we could use it, and we heard no. So it was scary, and really it was just he had told his manager, if anybody asks to use an ending, this beautiful song that I wrote, I think, just tell them no. And it was probably because, this is a long answer, I'm sorry, but it was probably because he was just didn't want it to be on any more spa compilations or something like this, and he didn't know that a band was going to come and ask him if I wrote this beautiful song on over it, and can we use it? So I finally got him on the phone, and I got to spill my guts to Brian Eno, and he let us use the song. And that's it. It's called Some Kind of Love. Oh my gosh. Sam Hunter asks, as a band, what kind of struggles, if any, have you all faced with making your next record? There are struggles. We have a relatively, easy job in some senses, but we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and it's not as easy to get 4 people together as it used to be. We used to all live in close proximity, and we didn't have a lot going on in our lives. Nobody had, kids or wives or any of those kind of duties. And now that dynamic has changed, and people live in different states, and people have families, and it's really difficult to get all 4 of us together and on the same page. So that's always something that you face, but we overcame it in the best way that we could. We found a great producer who was hardworking and creative, Jack Knife Lee, and he helped rein everybody in, at least in the way that he best saw it. And he was great with guidance, and it's done now. Ryan Volk, is that a silent T, Ryan? I'll never know. Ryan Volker. Ryan Volkert. Volkert? I wish it was Volker. What has changed the most about each of you and the band in the time between Battleborn and your next album? So again, I don't know if I can speak for the other guys. But sorry. Okay, people. Sorry. What has changed the most about me since Battleborn? I don't know. I put out a solo record. My kids are getting older, and I'm more aware of time. I am. That's probably the biggest thing. I'm really concerned about how fast it's going, and I want to make the most of it. And I don't know. That's just been something that I've been thinking about lately. Griffin Miller asks, what is your favorite song y'all have made, or favorite artist to listen to? Okay. My favorite song, I've not been shy about it, is Read My Mind, from the Killers catalog. It doesn't matter if we're playing in a bar or an arena or a stadium or a festival or to 50 people. When Read My Mind starts, the room changes, and I just have I guess it's strange to have a reverence for something that you're a part of creating, but I guess I'm thankful for that song. We only have time for 2 more questions. Theo, HB, Theophane, HB. How do you feel today when you write, play music, and live your life as an artist compared to when you were young? I was extremely insecure during the first couple of records. So I feel like I'm growing into my own skin and accepting things as I get older a lot better than I did when I was young. I was, really self-aware and self-conscious, and didn't know what I was supposed to. My dad worked at a grocery store, and my mom babysat kids at home. This was unfamiliar territory, and it's taken a while to get used to and to figure out how to balance all of it. But I guess that's it. I think that's the biggest difference is just, occupying the skin that I'm in. Last question is for Cynthia B. Hi, Brandon. I can't wait for your new album. Love you guys. One question I've always wanted to know, what does the lyric mean, with magic soaking my spine? Cynthia, I don't know that I can. I don't know that I can. I don't know that I can help you if you can't. If that one isn't resonating. Sorry. Let me do another quick one. Michael Suit. Did I just lose Cynthia as a fan? Damn, Cynthia. Okay, Michael Sweet. Sweet. Can you compare the new record to anything you guys have ever done, or does it compare more so to an influence? I think it compares more so to influences. I wouldn't really put it up against Sam's Town or Hot Fuss or Day and Age or Battleborn. I think there were some definite boxes that I wanted to check, and I think we checked them, and that's the best that you can do. And I can't wait for everybody to hear it. And that is all the time we have. Thank you for tuning in and asking me questions.
You'll be back.
I'll be back. All right.